Last week, the Nigerian Governors Forum and the Nigerian Economic Summit Group held a meeting where they talked about 81% of Nigerians do not pay tax and only 20 million of Nigerians pay tax. This is very poor when we have a very large number of Nigerians in the country. Join me as we talk to Nigerians to know why Nigerians do not pay tax, if it's possible that 81% of Nigerians do not pay tax. So last week there was a meeting with the Nigerian Governors Summit and the Nigerian Economic Summit that agreed that 81% of Nigerians do not pay tax. What do you think this means for the economy, and how do you think that the government can make people pay tax?
There is no government anywhere in the world that can succeed without tax. UK don't have oil. It's the tax that make them do everything they need to do. People have to pay their tax. Tax is not a begging matter. It's a right. Like if you're a human being in any country, you pay your tax. It's like Christians pay tithes in the church. It is compulsory. It is not a matter of begging or trying to look for people or forcing them. I'm even sure it's less than 81. It's more than 81% of Nigerians don't pay tax at all. That's the truth.
We, the citizens of Nigeria, in our condition, which the government has pressed us to be now, we shouldn't even supposed to pay tax at the first place. Because the money that the government themselves realize from selling of crude oil, natural resources, coal, and the rest of them are not giving account of the goods and other things that God blessed this country with at the first place, which are being harnessed by the so-called government, are sitting upon it, eating the money themselves. So by right, I don't think even a good Nigeria, average Nigeria, is supposed to pay tax.
The government is losing out. And of course, if we have to generate funds, we have to always look within as well. And looking within, we have to look at what we can get from us ourselves. But that does not mean that you have to make people pay more than what they are supposed to pay, because looking at the economic situation, you find out that it's really hard for people to make a living a day. All right? Not to talk of now having something extra to pay for tax.
For you to pay your tax, you understand, you should see the value. What the tax you are paying for is being used for. If you go to developed economies like Britain, where if a defaulter in tax payment is as good as one of the worst crime, you understand? Basically, they see what the people say what they're doing with the tax they collect from the people, but that is unlike here. So it's scratch my back, I scratch your back.
What is the level of employment in their respective states? You know, tax has to do with employment. A man who is not employed cannot pay tax. He's not earning anything. Even to feed himself is a problem. So it has to tally with the level of employment in the country.
Those paying the tax over the years, what usefulness have we seen from those paying the tax? I think the government is need to check themselves, not the indigenous alone, not the Nigerians alone, but let them check themselves, let them check their policies of the tax process and see what is making people not to pay tax.
If such number of Nigerians are not paying tax, it then means that it's affecting Nigerian economy. Economy cannot grow, because and people are not doing their own responsibilities. Because as a good citizen, you must pay your tax. It's from the tax that all this infrastructure development will actually come from.
The people need to see what the government is doing with the one they have already, so that they can take a cue on that policy. Collection of tax is really very, very important.
For me and my organization, for now, we don't pay tax. All right, and that's not because we don't want to pay. That's because there's no implementation of such.
When the people see the effect of taxpayers' money being used for social amenities in the country, they will have no option than to pay tax. If I pay tax and staff is rushing on the streets, I will have encouragement to pay tax.
My name is Oyedika Chidon Ago, reporting for the Sun TV.